thing that I always ask when dealing with data is, for example, what is your data recovery plan? Okay, and sometimes is very curious, but there are a lot of customers that no, we don't have that defined. Okay, so we need to define a data. We need to define a data recovery plan. We need to define what happens if your cluster crashes, and what is your SLA that you need. So what are the SLA that you need to offer for all the workloads that you have in the cluster? Okay, so that are the things that you need to understand before saying maybe you can go with a single cluster, maybe you need more clusters, maybe you need I don't know, a high availability solution in different zones, replicated clusters using an open ABS on top of that. All that things is that you need to understand before starting, but it's very, very, very hard.
This is good. And also, for example, just specifically with the point of a data recovery plan, not particularly as well, living in this era of GDPR and having, data protection officers and chief data officers and things like that. Do you still find that many companies, as you were saying, don't have a data recovery plan or aren't asking these questions?
Sometimes when I am asking questions about the data recovery plan, the answer is we don't have any clearly defined. Okay, and that's risk, and I found that very, very, very risky. Okay, but it's not only because a lot of companies say no, we have backups. Okay, but you have tried the restores. Do you have the restore procedure really tested? Okay, because do your restore works? And not only that, how are that automated? Okay, how do you know that you need to do a restore? Is because someone phones you at midnight, or do you have any kind of alert, or is the process automated using, I don't know, any failover group, whatever? Okay, so these are the kind of questions that when you start digging it, you find that more customers don't have a good answer for that. And also sometimes the customers say, okay, now is that in Kubernetes, when we can start to using this new Kubernetes, Edu, that you has provided to us for using, I don't know, this kind of workloads, for example, a development environment or a pre-production environment. No. We need to define first a set of tests to make sure that we are able to recover the data that we put in, okay? So there are a lot of customers that it's hard for them to understand really the need of that.
Do you think that sometimes as well too that the cost reduction or cost optimization might be a part of that?
Probably. I think that not sure if it's cost reduction. Maybe is sometimes the typical mindset that I'm just doing backups, I'm fine, that won't happen to me. I think that's human things. Okay. It's something like that. Probably if you are a big company, and probably if you have a very good data recovery plan, and probably if you do the things very well, for example, a ransomware attack wouldn't hurt you so much. But the truth is, a ransomware attacks will hurt so much a lot of companies, because a lot of companies don't have these procedures well done, because probably they are very hard to do well. And they are very time consuming, and you need to put a lot of, not only money, a lot of time, resources, effort to make sure that you have your data recovery plan well defined, covering all the possible scenarios. And, it's not only having a backup, it's where are your backups? So are the backups in the same, I don't know, network region or whatever that you have your workload? What happens if you have a regional outage? Are you going to handle that? So there are a lot of questions that you need to ask yourself.